The question is, should I add to my CCIV position at $29.80 per share? Now we are up 10% today, so I'm going to be talking about that. If I'm adding to my CCIV position, where I see the company going over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, all that. We're going to be talking about it in this video, so you guys will want to stay tuned and wait till the end to get my overall conclusion, or skip to there right now. Doesn't matter to me. I recommend you guys do stay through the whole video though. And if you guys want to be part of a Discord community that is free, where I send out all of my buy and sell alerts for stocks and options, you guys can join by hitting the link in the description. Like I said, it's free. Can't lose anything by doing it. Also, I do feel like I need to point out, I made a video when CCIV was $55+ a share. Said I sold about 75% of my position. 2 days later is when we dropped about 45% in one day. I got so much hate for that video, so if you guys want to watch that, I seriously recommend you guys do so, because I do not bullshit on this channel. I'm calling it how it is. So I will link that up in the corner somewhere in between here, so click on that after this video if you guys want to check that out. So much hate, so many dislikes. It's really quite crazy how nasty some people can be. But now we're gonna get right into it, guys. CCIV did release this on their Twitter account 5 hours ago, so I think this is the reason we ran up so much today, and I think it's only the start, but more on this later in the video. CCIV is up about 10.5% today, a little bit more than that, chilling at about $29.70 in after hours. So they have had a major rally today, and I have 83 shares. I bought average cost for $24.66. It is 7.85% of my portfolio, and I am up 20%. So I am happy with this, considering I sold most of my shares that I bought at $18 for $55 a share. Made a video about it and really didn't care what anybody thought about it or had to say. I am my own honest opinion to give to people that want to learn and really learn what it takes to be mentally a good trader investor. 90% of it is mental, 10% of it is actually like putting 2 and 2 together to make a trade and execute on it. But anyways, that's a little off topic. We could see there's this article that I want to get into a little bit, but I do want to mention their market cap is 6.77 billion. SPACs are super weird. So really, they were valued at about $24 billion, and that's when they were at their high of like $60 a share, and fell, you know, halfway, 50% since then. So they should be valued between 12 and 15 billion if I were to imagine right now. So this does look a lot better buying it at $29.70 than $55-$60 a share. That was a little outrageous. So my opinion on it, first off, if you guys don't want to stay through, I do like Churchill Capital at $29.70 per share. I just think CCIV has a lot of room to grow. They put their factory together in like 9 months, guys. So this company can grow faster than I think people anticipate. CCIV has just been ripping up in after hours, up about 4.5% and almost breaking $30 a share with high volume. So this is something to be watchful of. It looks like, if you ask me, up until March 17th, which is Wednesday, so really tomorrow and Wednesday morning will be very good for CCIV. I think we could even hit $35 a share, just because I do expect some kind of confirmation about autonomous driving or something very, very positive for the company. I don't think this is a small announcement to be making a video about this and basically hyping up the stock price. So I do expect some kind of big news. Maybe it is that they agreed to build the Saudi Arabia factory, or maybe they started, you know, there's a whole wide range of variables, but I do think it is something that is significantly important. CCIV is getting quite a bit of volume in after hours. We broke $30, went up to like $30.05, and then we've came down a little bit, but that is still bullish overall, seeing the good volume coming in even at 6:30 at night. So that is very, very good going into tomorrow. But like I said prior, this article, it says short sellers boost bet against SPACs. And it's basically saying that a lot of hedge funds have been basically betting against betting against these companies. It says, look, this one piece I want to read to you guys. The short interest in Churchill Capital Corp, a SPAC created by former investment banker Michael Klein that has merged with electric vehicle startup Lucid, more than doubled in March to about 5%. So I don't think we're getting a short squeeze, but we could see some institutions be getting out now that this announcement is out, because if they short squeeze, that 5% of shares shorted could really hurt them if you consider the stock could go back to its 60s some dollar highs. No hedge fund wants to deal with that right now. No institution wants to deal with that right now. So they might be buying back in, covering their short positions, and that's why we see the stock price going up more on top of the run-up we already would have got into March 17th. So this does look good after reading this part of this article. I am very bullish on this run-up we are about to see. As to why I love CCIV and will be adding to CCIV, before we get into the technical analysis, I want to give this to you guys. So when you try to value and come to a conclusion, because you always should, you shouldn't just buy a stock because anybody says to buy anything, you watch a YouTube video or anything like that. You should like the product, or at least understand it. First things first before you make an investment, but come to a conclusion of what you think the fair value is, and just use 5 years as a benchmark. That's what I like to do. I like to try to value the company, let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, but usually 5 years from now. And the thing with electric EV car companies, you have to value them as if they're in the same category as EV vehicles, right? Which gets a little tricky. You wouldn't value Coca-Cola compared to a Disney. There's different growth metrics, there's different products, different everything. So you have to value them with their closest peers. So in CCIV's case, it's EV vehicle producers, and their valuations are super, super high. And they sell for less money than CCIV's total backlog, which is like 5,000 vehicles. They will be selling at 169,000 a piece, whereas the average selling price on like a Tesla is like 40-some thousand dollars. A Neo is about $60,000-$70,000 last time I checked. So they are getting higher prices for their vehicles, CCIV is, than Neo and Tesla. So that is something to keep in mind too, and that's a reason why I like them. But really, if Neo did 47,000 vehicles delivered in 2020, and CCIV says they'll be able to do 30,000 vehicles in 12 months, but they won't be launching until midway through 2021, so that I would imagine that would be from midway 2021 to midway 2022. They will do 30,000 vehicles, and then by midway 2022 to midway 2023, they will be at somewhere around 70 to 100,000 vehicles. Now they plan to be at 400,000 vehicles by 2025. So this is essentially how many vehicles Neo or Tesla delivered in 2020. Close comparison. They delivered 499,500 vehicles in 2020. So if they can do 400,000 vehicles and Tesla's valued at like $700 billion, then a measly 15 to 24 billion valuation right now is nothing compared to what CCIV can be if they are even doing the numbers that Tesla is doing. And by 2025, the EV market will be barely scratching the surface anyways, because 3% of all total vehicles are EV sold. So that is no problem, no question with that. Now, the question is if they can come to scale quicker than current investors think they can, which I do think they can. I think their Saudi Arabia plant could be getting announced. That's the whole main reason I really made this video. But I do think if it's not announced, if it's autonomous driving or anything else, that this will be a close runner in as far as sequence of events. I think they will be announcing the Saudi Arabia factory very soon. And you know there's a lot of rich oil people over there that want their hands on Lucid Motors vehicles. So that is good, and that is what I'm looking forward to. I think they can scale faster than 400,000 vehicles by 2025. That is just my opinion. It is incredibly hard to go from 0 cars produced to 400,000 plus vehicles produced by 4.5 years, especially for a car company. That would be super, super fast and incredible to see. Only time will tell if they can end up doing that though. So taking a look at the technical analysis, it does look like we found a bottom around the 25 level not too long ago, around March 12th. Found a bottom at $25. Ever since then, we've run up, or gapped up, I should say. Consolidate, gap up, consolidate, gap up, consolidate, gap up, and basically the same thing continues the rest of this chart. And I do think we are primed to go higher. I'm going to put this over here because this blue is extended hours. I do think we're going up to at least the $31.50 range, and I'm going to fix this. $31.50. I do think this is where we are going to level out at up until the merger, just because of how much volume we got in after hours. And I'm gonna super zoom in to show you guys the volume in after hours, which is quite crazy. Hold on, sorry. We got, where's the volume? 13, almost 14,000 shares bought, 8,000, 6,000, 43,000, 36,000, 12, 32, 38,000, and these are all significant. 6,000 to be coming up in after hours like this is quite incredible. 33,000, so we're getting, you know, 500,000 shares or more being bought alone in after hours, and that's why the price has went up 4.5% in after hours. So this is really cool. I like to look at the after hours volume, and if you guys don't too much, this is big after hours volume. This will move a stock after hours. Between the bid and the ask, it will have a influence on the stock price. Now with this going up, a lot of people want to buy it, but they don't in after hours. So that is why I think we're gonna gap up tomorrow, and I can't wait to make another video to see how this holds up. But if I were to, like, theoretically put a bottom on this before the actual news event comes out, because I mean, I see it being very, very good overall, but if I had to, I mean, I'm gonna put it at about the $29 mark. That's where it looks like we started to get some heavy volume coming in. If we look at the end of today, you know, we had what is this, 271,000 the last 5 minutes of today. So that these are big positions getting in. These are probably shorts getting out. That's why I'm saying this. So once one short gets out, once one big company institution gets out, that usually is a snowball effect into more companies getting out. I think I explained everything that I said I was going to explain and talk about in this video. Just to summarize again, I think anything under $30 a share is a no-brainer. Just buy. Just buy, just buy, just buy. Now, with my situation, I'm going to buy some more tomorrow, and then hopefully buy some more after that. And depending what the news is, that could change the valuation, so it could justify the price being a little bit higher, or whatever the case is, maybe even a little bit lower if the event is not so good for the company. A lot of the times they hype up events and they're not so good for the company. But anyways, I do think anything under $30 is a hands down buy. I look to build my position up to a couple hundred shares, even 1,000 shares long term, because I do have a pretty high conviction level in the company. Anything under $40 a share is a decent buy. If you have a long-term outlook, you're good to buy it. Anything that's like 50 to 60 or anything higher than that right now is too expensive. Now, for a new car company, you have to prove yourself. Just like everybody else has to prove themselves basically in everything, it's no different from a cool EV car company. You have to prove yourself that you can make your backlog. You can have production going and not shutting down like Tesla did a while back, a couple years ago. They had problems with parts and production and their robot assemblies and all that. You have to know that the system works, and you're not just bleeding cash with no end in sight. That's not good. That's what NIO was doing, and they needed a bailout from the government. I don't see the government doing that in America. Chinese government's different, so they do have to prove themselves before they can be worth 24 billion or wherever they valuated the company at for the deal. Anyways, that is my opinion on CCIV. Where I think it's going, Like I said, I think up to $35 by March 17th. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we kind of level out around the $30 mark. And long term, I could see this going to easily a couple $100s a share, just based off their projections of growth and other similar EV stocks, how they're valued. So if you guys got anything useful out of this, maybe an insight on how I value companies, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Discord link in the description. I post all my trades, all that good stuff. You guys know what it is. But I'll see you guys later. Look forward to talking to you guys in the Discord and down in the comments below. See you later. Peace out.